Welcome to this course. 10 years ago, I've been a senior software developer in a large company here in Vancouver, Canada, and we were using internally Oracle and SQL Server for our relational data, and separately MongoDB with document databases, basically JSON data that we were able to query only through JavaScript. In the next few years, we follow up with a big hype about NoSQL databases. I'm pretty sure you heard about them. And a big chunk about these NoSQL databases was about document databases. And this was basically JSON data stored in a specific format and queried, as I said before, in MongoDB through JavaScript. But in the meantime, I passed a certification about Couchbase, and I had my practice test here on Udemy as well about that specific certification. And what was interesting, Couchbase was also using JSON data, but it was querying this data through an extended SQL. In the meantime, lately, most of the relational databases, it doesn't matter, data warehouses or transactional databases, they added and continue to gradually add support for JSON within their relational databases. So Snowflake is one particular case, and you'll love what I'll teach you here because as a relatively new database, everything came from scratch, and they were able to create an elegant design for their incorporation of the JSON data within their relational structure. So, allow me to teach you about JSON in Snowflake, all about processing semi-structured data in Snowflake. Because basically, yes, you heard we have also XML or other formats, but most of the people are concerned about JSON. I try to organize this course in the best possible way to teach you gradually about different features, different aspects of JSON. So I will start basically with JSON fundamentals. Yeah, we're not connected to anything. Yes, I will teach you about the JSON format, about JSON arrays and dictionaries. I will follow up with connecting to Snowflake and inserting, yeah, populating directly through SQL JSON data. I'll follow up with uploading data files in JSON format in Snowflake. JSON transformations will be a large section where I will teach you about JSON manipulation in Snowflake SQL. The flatten function will basically transform your JSON array elements or key value pairs into separate rows, and you'll be able to use SQL, plain SQL, with data which was flattened this way. In JSON querying, I will go further with more complex queries because by now you acquired everything you need to know about JSON, but we'll go further, yeah? Finally, I left JSON modeling at the end because by now we acquired all the knowledge about how to build and how to query JSON data. So you'll find some very important design patterns that nobody told you about. Look at this big picture because we'll start basically with a JSON format in simple JSON files. Yeah, we're not connected to Snowflake yet. In the next section, as I said, yeah, we'll deal with SQL insertion of JSON data into Snowflake tables. We'll continue with JSON file uploading, yeah, because most of the data in Snowflake or any other data warehouse is big data. So JSON data is mostly stored in files that you will have to upload manually or rather through an automatic process in Snowflake tables. Snowflake transformations deal with a lot of conversions between tabular and JSON data. JSON parsing and metadata querying is all about querying more JSON data, becoming an expert with rather complex queries or genuine queries I couldn't cover enough in the previous sections. And finally, in data modeling, I be able to teach you about design patterns, how to split your hierarchical JSON data from the relational data or the other way around. One more thing, I spent a lot, much more than usual on this specific course because that's a genuine content. I didn't find anything like this online. I didn't find books about this. I didn't buy courses about this. However, I had and I have a lot of customers. I built a lot of data pipelines where the requirement for semi-structured data is huge. I think this course will benefit to you as well because you will acquire those skills to be able not just to query JSON data, but to design to split up tabular into semi-structured data and to be able to provide this in real life projects to your customers.